Woody and I were in LA, and I told the waitress, I want the fruitiest drink you can come up with. I was like, I want it to be sweet and delicious. I was like, whatever Elton John would order. I was like, hook me up. And she must have taken offense to some of that. So because she brought me back this this drink full of seeds and pulp with like 8 straws in it and all this shit on top. It was a joke drink, and I think she must have charged me $20 for it or something like that.
Was there
But
even any booze in it? Like, but you can't taste the
yes,
thing.
way
You
too much.
asshole.
Way too much. It was like 8 ounces of vodka, like 2 ounces of strawberry liqueur, and like 14 straws, 15 kinds of garnish, and then a handful of seeds, just strawberry seeds that she she sprinkled in. It was so awful.
That
She got
sounds
no tip.
terrible.
It's
Oh, yeah, she made it
the
on
100% food version of a drink.
Lots of chia seeds in there.
She got no tip. I felt like she did that on purpose. Really
Yeah,
made me
Kyle
angry.
was actually angry with her. Like he felt like he's like, I don't know what I want exactly, but give me something fruity, something that tastes good, sweet. Elton John would like it. Like, like he's giving her a vibe, and she came back with some nasty seed-based bullshit.
Did you
Yeah.
even drink it?
That's like, I'm actually really pleased that you said that, Kyle. You said you gave her no tip, and like my girlfriend and I go back and forth on this all the time, right? For me, it's like I tip well in general. I mean, that's what you do in general. If you have decent service, you tip well, right?
Yeah.
If you get really good service, you tip above and beyond, right?
Yep.
If you get really shit service, in my opinion, you tip low or not at all. My girlfriend is like
Zero.
of the mindset that like no matter what they do, you're giving them 10 or 15% minimum. It's too
Uh-uh.
much of an insult to give them zero. And I'm like, how the fuck are you gonna let them get away with? I mean, like the part of your night out, like I don't for like if you're going out for a night out, you're deliberately spending the time and effort to go somewhere for like a really nice meal or something. Part of the experience is a service, right? It doesn't have
Yep.
to be the best thing ever, but you have to have a waiter or waitress that doesn't detract from it, right? Like
I
they
had a
don't have
waitress who smelled like shit once, like human shit. So much like shit did she
Taco
smell
Bell
that.
waitress.
No, this was much finer established. I believe we were at a Ruby Tuesdays.
And your
and,
Sunday
like,
finest.
When she stepped away, I looked on the floor for dog shit. I looked at my own shoes for dog shit, and I made my girlfriend do the same. I was like, our waitress smells like shit. I was like, she definitely does. And she was like, yeah. And like my girlfriend's literally like turning her head, kind of like trying not to be rude, but like trying not to be very close to the waitress when she comes. She got zero. She also got my drink order wrong 3 times back to back to back. Like the 4th attempt, she got it right. And then I didn't trust it. I had to switch drinks.
Did the
drink was
waitress
sweet tea.
notice that your girlfriend was scooting to the side? Like, did
No. She's oblivious.
Yeah.
She literally just had awful hygiene. I don't know. I was at Applebee's the other or Olive Garden the other night, and she brought me my refill like long before I needed it. Just brought a new cup of Coke, and what else did she do? I don't know. She was always lickety split with the cheese grinder, and always coming back and asking if I needed something, and refilled the breadsticks like 3 times, and she gave me more Parmesan sauce. So I tipped her like 35% or something like that. But like for real, but if the service is bad, they get zero. They get zero, or they'll even get a joke tip. Like I'll even just a dime or something.
I've
something
tipped like
so that
6 cents before just to make it an even withdrawal from my checking account. Just-
That's kind of funny. I'll just do the math and do like $2.06 or something like that if I want to hit it even. But I usually tip well. But if it's bad service, it's a bad tip, and if it's really bad service, it's 0 tip. And I will freak out on wait staff, and I will curse. I will make a scene. I was pretty ready to throw that drink in the floor last time we were at that restaurant, and I was literally going to make a scene, because we just had gotten back from the survival trip. We hadn't eaten very much at all in days. We were all very hungry, and I'd been thinking about this meal. I knew what I wanted. And I impressed upon her that we needed this food quickly, and there was just a myriad of issues. Like she kept fucking up, and things took way too long, and I was about to have a meltdown.
Yeah, and I mean,
I wasn't
attitude
too
matters
hard.
so much in that too, right? Even if like they're not that great a waitress, but if they're really giving it their fucking best and they're not like actively sabotaging it, but when you get like the fucking like lip from it too, like and they start getting cheeky with you and they're fucking up, you're like, screw this. This is just
Woody,
not
what-
worth it.
I honestly
Yeah.
don't remember. What did I say to the waitress after the survival trip? I really was kind of out of it. I was so like tired from that thing and sleepy and hungry. Like I don't even remember what I said.
I don't remember for sure either.
You got the
but
video?
That's what I'm looking for. I know that I recorded it at the time.
It was awful. I was so mad, and I was mad about a bunch of stuff. It was like Chiz's coffee hadn't been refilled, and my drink hadn't been refilled, and the appetizers were like gone, and they had already been late.
And I mean, the
And
opposite is so like incredible too. Like I've had date nights just be made by like the
Oh.
service at like an event.
Kyle is
Like
completely fed up with the service.
It's
at
been
this
so
point.
fucking long. All right, we've been sitting here so fucking long. Chiz doesn't have his coffee. No refills. This was 10 minutes late. No more bread. We're hungry. No more bread. We've been sitting here 15 minutes. Nothing. Look at this. It's clear.
This time it's not even
She
me.
asked me. Which do you want first, your soup or your salad? I said, whichever one you can get to me fastest. Here she comes. Oh, she's in a hurry. She's done.
Awesome.
Could you be glad for it?
She's done. She's done. You know what I did
no,
once?
I was
I,
thinking she's done it. She's actually done it because she was
Oh.
coming with the food finally.
I put one of my own hairs in a entree once to get it for free because the service was so bad,
Awesome.
and it worked. Yeah.
That's a good one. I definitely made a scene one night at Outback because I felt like the waitresses were purposefully like not taking our table because it was like between two zones. Like it wasn't quite the bar and it wasn't quite a table. It was like this high top thing off to the side, and I felt like I could see them looking at us like where all the servers were, and I could definitely get a vibe that like one person was like, well, that's not technically my section, and the other person was like, well, I'm only covering that section for April because she's not here, so that can't be mine. And like they just didn't come over for 15 minutes, and finally I flagged one chick down. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, has no one waited on you? I was like, they haven't. You've been standing over there talking about me for about 15 minutes. I saw you. And before she could say anything, I was like, I want the manager. and she kind of teared up a little. She was like right as she was leaving, and I like showed no mercy. Like from the girl was like, I think she's crying. I was like, good. Maybe they'll drag her out here and let us watch her cry. Like that'd be nice. That might make me feel better. I get really upset with the poor service because I feel like it's just blatant disrespect for no reason.
how
In
about
a-
best service? Yeah, do
What?
you have any equivalent stories of best service?
Totally.
I have one really bad one before we go to good service though.
Alright.
A waitress when I was like 16. Me and a bunch of my friends were Buffalo Wild Wings. Actually, we went to go watch like a UFC fight or something there, and
Did they put it
They
on the
were
big
like-
screen for you? Because they didn't. Fuck them. Seriously.
they did put it on the big screen. And we ordered a ridiculous amount. Like each of us ordered like 20 wings, and there's like 6 of us there. So this is the biggest order at the restaurant right now. And the lady was clearly a shitty waitress, kind of new. She had someone like shadowing her for a sec, and she went off. An hour later, she comes back with this huge plate. So we're already pissed that it took so long. But like we could only see the angle up towards the plate. We're like, oh, thank God it's here. She brings it out in front, starts placing it all down, and all of us just like immediately look at each other like, oh, our faces were downcast. We're like, these are all boneless wings. These are all just chicken tenders with sauce on them. And she's like, yeah, 120 boneless wings. And he's like, no, the one thing about the wing, there's only one adjective, and we did not say it. Not boneless, just wings. And so the manager came over, gave us like half off, and then fired her
Really?
because apparently she had done like these huge money wasting order mistakes for a while, like of just like, oh, you want 6 burgers? Here's a bunch of fucking French dips. Fuck you. So yeah,
Kind of
she got
objectively,
fired.
that one makes me feel a little sad because it's like shit. She probably was trying. She was just useless. That seems like so much better to me than the people who are like actively being a piece of shit towards you. Right? That's the one that makes me want to just like strike back. Is the people who are like deliberately doing shit to you. Like, that would be the one I'd love to like watch her get fired on the spot, and I'd be like, like throwing tips to the other waitresses or something, just particularly to see that girl suffer. But I can see that one being painful.
We had a waitress at Lone Star and Apex. I get Longhorn and Lone Star mixed up, but whatever's there.
So where's Apex to you? Because that means something different to me. What
Oh,
is that?
it's in North Carolina, outside Raleigh and Cary.
Okay, so it's like a town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
Is
go on.
So the research we've done, some of the research, the team that I worked with at NIU, at Northern Illinois University, APEX stands for the Arizona Power Exchange, which is a BDSM club in Arizona. So every time you say Apex, I'm like, what is he talking about? So anyways, so I'm good to know now. So, go on.
Very different. Yeah.
It's not really much of a story. She was just awesome. She was quick. She was on top of it, and she got to know what we liked. I like the bread, So if there were 2 people, they used to serve half a loaf, and if there's 4 people, they'd serve a whole loaf. When I came there with just Jackie, she gave us a whole loaf because she knew that's what I liked. And I order a couple times. I get the same thing all the time. After a while, she's like, "Hey, do you want this?" Like, saying
It's nice being a regular.
she knew our order, but she also checked to make sure that was still what we wanted, and it was really cool. She always kept the drinks filled up. She was great. I don't know how to. I don't want to be douchebag. I tipped her well every time, and then there was one time we went before Christmas where I tipped triple digits.
Wow. I immediately knock off like 2% off my tip if it's a group of more than 5 people there and the person doesn't write down the orders. If they stand there and they hands behind their back and they
Really?
just memorize it for you, I think that is, number one, disrespectful, showing that you're not taking the time to get my order 100% right, because I will fucking guarantee that something will be wrong. Oh, well, they just brought out blue cheese instead of ranch. No, you know what? That's a fucking mistake. Because if
I
you
don't
had
want
written
it now.
down ranch or blue cheese, then you would have known that. Like these, I just think that it's shitty for them not to be taking consideration about everything you're saying. Oh, no pickles on my burger. Could you write that down? Oh no, it's all up here. Is it? I'd feel a lot fucking better if you would write it down.
I don't mind up until the point where they mess it up, and then I'm like, well, maybe if you'd written it down.
Dude,
I've said that before. I definitely have said, like, well, maybe if you'd written some of that down.
The place that's trying to be higher end, they're going to do that, right? They're going to tell
and
their
they should.
servers not to write shit down. So at some level, like I hate to punish the server for like a decision on the management level.
I've had conversations with the server about him like not writing it down before, because we'd have like maybe like 6 of us are at a Morton's steakhouse, and it's like a couple
I
of
just
courses
imagine
or
like
whatever.
your hand on like on his shoulder, like uncomfortably, like, look, I need to really tell you something about writing some shit down here now.
I got paper. Like,
No, we've been like, so you memorize all that, and he'd be like, yeah. I was like, is it hard? Sometimes. I was like, you think you got ours down? He's like, oh yeah, I got yours for sure. I was like, all right, well, you better, because it's $100 steak. Don't fuck it up. I feel like it was a mean joke now. I do this to my girlfriend. My girlfriend has she's like, you've got to stop that. You've got to stop it, because sometimes you forget to come back and be like, just kidding. And so I go like 3 days thinking that you actually think one of my legs is shorter than the other, or that you actually think that my eyes are crooked or something. Because I'll like fuck with her sometimes and do real mean and like angry shit, and just to get her goat, as I say. I told Chiz the other day, I like to terrify her. I feel like it's good for you to be frightened. I feel like it's good for your system. I don't know why I think that, but I just feel like getting that adrenal gland to actually do something occasionally is good for your body's chemistry, and makes you, keep that heart stressed. Fuck you. We're in our mid-20s and we're healthy people.
no, that's true. I saw it on the side of a box of Cheerios. Heart healthy.
I'm not in my mid-20s. She's in her mid-20s and she's a healthy person. So what I like to do is, at any opportunity I get, is to terrify her. So she'll oftentimes fall to sleep in bed, kind of sitting up, because I stay up late and watch Netflix. And when I see that, I'll just scream at her, like in her ear. Like this, and she'll wake up like, what the fuck, like all the time. But that's not enough, right? Because that's out of your sleep, and it's not as scary of a reaction, because going from asleep to afraid isn't as violent as going from walking and knowing that everything's safe and being afraid, if you can imagine all that. So what I like to do is I hide in a closet or I hide in a doorway, and I wait for her to walk by. And I've come up with a noise that I feel like really horrifies people, because it's kind of a noise that human beings don't normally make. So I hide in the darkness, and just when she's by the doorway, I come at her, and like hands in her face, like lurching at her and arms flailing, I go, and she has lost her shit like 3 times. Like she borderline cries, falls on her ass, and is like trying to get away. So we like to keep it light around here.
God, that sounds like you are so stressful. It'd be like living in the Jackass house where you're like going to take a shit and you just end up with 6 thumbtacks in your ass. I did something similar to that where it's like kind of not punking, but like fucking with people. I used to drive carpool in high school for a while, and I picked up a few people in my neighborhood. One was a girl, a little younger than me, a couple kids younger in the back, all middle school age, except for me and the older girl for the most part. Drove them all to school, picked them all up on the way back, and they would always start unbuckling their fucking seatbelts before I got to their house because I had like 3 houses to stop at, and I would always yell at them and be like, just keep your fucking seatbelts buckled, not because I gave a shit about their safety, but because they start like rummaging and doing all their shit, and it just pissed me off and stressed me out. And I was like, let me just get you out of here so I can fucking go home. And so I would always do seatbelt tests, and I was in my Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I would be going like 35 in the neighborhood, and then just right before we were going to get to their house, because they were anticipating me slowing down slowly and easing up, I'd just go just slam on the brakes, and they would surge forward. If they kept their seatbelts on like I would instruct every day, they would go and then they'd fall back and be like, God, Taylor, you fucking asshole. And I'd be like, just keep your seatbelt on. And one of the kids one day, I started to do it hard, like the hardest ever. I got up to like 40. It became like a game because my brother was in the back and he thought it was funny. I just slam on my brakes. Woof. And one day, the kid in the back that I wasn't related to unbuckles way too early. I didn't know. Taking him to his house. He's in the middle. The 2 seats in front of him are on the sides. So I slam on the brakes so fucking hard. He flies up, hits my dashboard, crumples like with his head up on like the dash and like his body down like where the shifter is. And I'm just like, oh shit, because his mom's like bringing snacks out to him because I'm the carpool. I'm like, just get in the back of the seat, just get in the back of the car. Don't you fucking tell him about this. Don't you fucking tell him that I've been doing seatbelt testing this whole fucking time. Don't you tell them about that. They pay me to drive you to school. You're not going to tell them about that. He's like, all right, Taylor, it's fine. And I stopped doing it that way. But yeah, he almost really hurt himself. He was like dazed for a second.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't, you asshole. You almost really hurt him. That's what happened.
Okay.
Look at how your brain made it right, and you didn't even notice.
No, he should have stayed buckled up. I'm doling out life lessons over here.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Good reference, Chiz. Good reference.
It seems like going forward, he'd wear a seatbelt. You may have saved his life.
Guarantee it. Well, with you at least, because he knows you're a bad driver now.
No, those were all intentional stops. They were intentionally bad.
Well,
So the only people I know who did that were those kind of guys. And I'll be honest with you, it's just fun to make fun of right there, but it is pretty fun when you get down and play it.
yeah, right.
Like,
Like
actually
Frisbee
do.
golf seems cool to me. There's a bunch of
I
guys
bought
is
one of
pretty
those
fun.
discs. Like I bought one of the frisbee golf discs to see what the difference was. You can throw it really accurate and really far. They're very
hard.
heavy and hard. Yeah,
They are hard. It's
Did you just get
most
one
of them
disc?
like they have titles,
Yeah,
not
there's a
titles, but
set.
names
Like,
on them.
there's
It'll
a
say like
putter, there's a driver.
yeah, putter, chipper, driver. If you get the driver ones, they're
That's what I
so
got.
hard and dense. You can throw it, no joke, and I know Kyle will confirm, 3 times as far as you could just a normal go to Chili's for free frisbee.
Oh yeah. So I at the same time I also bought this thing. It looks like the thing Zeno used to throw. It's like hollow in the middle, but it's
Oh yeah.
you
I've
can
seen those.
sling the fuck out of that thing like hundreds of yards. It's absurd when you
Can
throw
you
it right and
catch
it
it?
doesn't go side. Yes. Oh, it's really flimsy. Like not flimsy, but
So it's
yeah,
not like
you could take it-
throwing I don't know, like a dinner plate or something where I'm on the side like, holy fuck, this could hurt.
no,
me.
no. Like if you took one to the face, like you'd be like, that inconvenienced me for a moment. It's not that bad. Like
These are the ones that are super light and like you can throw them far, but they don't go super fast.
Chiz linked a photo of Xena there. That's good. That's Lucy Lawless. She's gotten topless in a few things in her later years. I really appreciate it. Big Xena warrior princess titties.
Yeah, but that thing on her hip is exactly what Kyle's talking about. But honestly, make it like 3 times that circumference.
Yeah, much bigger around and plastic and soft on the ends, and you can throw the fuck out of it. It's great.
Yeah.
I always wanted a
Frisbee's-
boomerang, but I never found one that would work. Has anyone here ever used a boomerang successfully? Like I have one. It's the one I have is the triple wing boomerang, not the traditional Australian one. It's I don't know. It's 3
That's the
points.
kind
that
that
go-
I use successfully.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
got a
saying
boomerang when I was 8 years old for Christmas. Took it out. It was in the snow. And I just insisted I had to have my boomerang because I'd asked my grandma. I'm like, I watched some TV show on Discovery Channel, and they showed one of those, African guys like taking someone down with a fucking boomerang, or an Australian guy. And I was like, I have to have that. And so that was my main ask that year. I want a boomerang. It was snowing. They're like, oh, you don't go out there. You should want to practice with it first. Go practice with it. And I aimed towards the woods in our creek. And I was like, I got this.
Are you sure that's
those
a good
guys
choice?
can do it? I can do it. No, hindsight's 2020. And I just like, I seized up and I was like, all right, if I don't throw it hard enough, it's not going to come back. And so I just moved, and I watched just kind of the first like second and a half of like, oh, it's going to take a hard bank to the left. And no, it's just boop, 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 boop. And I'm like, oh shit. And so like immediately it goes to like, I'm going to lose my brand new present. I'm going to go back inside and get yelled at for losing this apparently nice boomerang. Nobody buys a nice boomerang for an 8-year-old. So I ran into the woods and it was gone. Lost it. Threw it once. 0 for 1. My boomerang career.
I lost mine as well.
Yeah, that seems to be a trend.
Actually, I think it's in a tree out in the yard. Now that I think about it, I shot it down with a shotgun once. That was effective. I just shot the limb down, but it's up there good now. It's not coming out.
Yeah.
Fuck boomerangs. Stupid fucking toy / weapon.
Yeah. Who had the time? What lazy hunter had the time to come up with that horse shit? On the Australian plains, you can throw it really hard and it'll come back to you. Oh, that's great, Bill. We're all shitting ourselves because we can't get a cup of fucking clean water, and you're over there whittling away at something that's not going to help us. Eat shit. Get out of here.
It is a cool weapon, though. I love like, how did they figure that out? That if it was curved right or carved correctly, that and thrown at the right angle, that it would return to you.
Yeah. How many tribesmen got maliciously made fun of for spending all day throwing it and then having to go retrieve their stick? Convincing. If that was like the Wright brothers of their time, where it was like, I'm telling you, it can come around. The science adds up. We just need to find the curvature. Trying to sand it down. And suddenly there's, 10 grand of water damage. That literally happened at my house when I was probably 14, and my brother had a friend over, and he went into the bathroom. We were playing video games, didn't think about him at all for like 90 minutes, and he came back out, sat down, no hullabaloo was made. This was a downstairs bathroom. My parents were upstairs doing their thing. It was down like a hallway, so you couldn't like hear that like telltale sign, that sound of like water running. You couldn't hear it until like my dad came down like an hour after that, and basically didn't find out until he was walking down part of the hallway, like 5 feet before you get to the entrance to the bathroom, and you heard like a just soaking wet carpet all the way down the hall, all the way in the bedroom that the bathroom was next to. There was like standing shit water in the bathroom. It was to the, like it. I had to, that night, my dad came down with such a bad mood. Understandably, I had to go into one of the bedrooms there and help him tear out the carpet in real time, because he was like, we can't let this wick into the carpet and then get into all the drywall everywhere, because if we don't get all this up, that's going to happen. So we had to tear all this carpet up in the middle of the night, and
How old were
eventually
you?
they go ahead.
How old were you?
I was like 14 probably. The kid that did it was, I don't know how old he was, but the kid who did it didn't help, just sat there, and eventually his parents came and picked him up, and his parents didn't offer to help pay for it or anything. That I remember. Obviously they weren't, I wasn't privy to the financial discussions at the time. They didn't call me in for that, but it was like 10-15 grand worth of damage to replace all of this carpet. And replacing carpet, like when you have to tear up that hallway, you don't just replace from that point in the hallway on, you have to put new carpet everywhere that carpet attaches to. So it was a huge ordeal having to do that. And yeah, so I guess that would be a check in the con column for running a
what happened
running a daycare
to us? So I was a teenager. I don't know, call me 16 or something. And my brother's girlfriend spent a lot of time at our house. And she was grumpy. I had a real hard time getting along with her. But anyway, our sewage, like leading from the house to the city well, or city septic or whatever, got all clogged up. And I forget the symptom of how we discovered it, but like things weren't working right or whatever. So like a crew has to like come out and dig up the backyard, and they don't know exactly where this problem is, so they're like digging it, and there's this big like black steel pipe or something like that buried underground, and they're like smashing it, cracking it, and eventually it turns out that my brother's girlfriend had been regularly flushing her like feminine hygiene products in our toilet. And so
That
like
bitch.
everybody knew. Like I knew, my brother knew, my parents knew, she knew, everyone knew. Like our house got fucked up because she did something that even teenage boys know you're not supposed to do. And but I think they just quietly sort of fixed it, handled it, and that was
Yeah,
that.
because they got in there and there was a wad of tampons this fucking big
Yeah.
jammed in the pipe that somebody had to like reach in and like clog back out of there. They're like, yeah, it's that dirty whore over there.
Right?
Look at this. Look at this, you monster.
Yeah.
It's like somebody flushed like a prom night baby, and that was just the remnants in the pipe. Just congealed, coppery nastiness. Ugh.
Yeah.
Speaking of tribes, did you know that in 2006, the Ecuadorian national soccer team, in addition to sending their team, they also sent a witch doctor to make sure that there were no curses or evil spirits that could cause them to play worse in that tournament.
How'd that work for them?
They didn't do well.
Even with the witch
they
doctor
gave it their
there?
best. Yeah, their loss, had nothing to do with demons. After all, it had to do with it being Ecuador up against Germany and Spain.
Mostly defense.
And, yeah, it was mostly a defense
Mostly
issue.
defense.
At the end of the night, it was a very, the spirits of not back checking really.
I can see like
really
little
were
voodoo
there in
dolls.
full form.
Little voodoo dolls like wearing soccer uniforms. She's poking them in the leg and stuff, throwing yellow cards at them. It's not working.
And Bruce Gardner in the NHL was having such a difficult time scoring in the 80s or in the 90s that his coach told him, you're being too gentle on that stick. You're treating it too well. You need to teach the wood to respect you. And so he, before every game, would tape his stick up and then dunk it in the toilet and then not touch it again as a way to show the stick who was boss. And he said that he started playing better. And then his quote was, as he told NHL.com in 2007, you tape it, you dunk it, and you don't touch it. I'd do anything for a couple goals.
I like it.
As he's like, his first shot of the game, the goalie feels like a smattering of liquid on his face. Ah.
Every slap shot, he was getting a little piss water in behind it.
Oh, the classic Bruce Gardner, first slap shot of the game, always a devastator.
You were a goalie. Did you have any superstitions?
No, I did the same like kind of rituals before every game, but that was mostly just stretching out or like doing the tennis ball juggle on the wall, trying to get on point with reflexes. But no, nothing like superstitious. No, I wasn't like that. I should have had something fun, but
Yeah,
no,
I
didn't.
did the same warm up for both swimming and different for swimming and hockey, but in both swimming and hockey, I did the same thing to like get ready for my event, and but it didn't seem superstitious to me. I just sort of stretch out the hammies, stretch out whatever, do
Yeah, it was just being
push-ups, and be ready
The
to
one
play.
ritual I did do, not so much a ritual, was I would always make sure that I saved, because there are certain stretches that you do before a game where it's like you can look at someone stretching and be like, what in God's name are they stretching? But they're doing something in that position that doesn't look like the stretch, but they are. And there's stretches like that, like where you put your hand on the wall and you're stretching your hamstrings right before. And then there's the very impressive looking stretches where like you flip a leg up and you lay it down in front of you and you have the other one behind you. And then you do the full splits in both directions, kind of showing that off. I always saved those for when I was on the ice because that like there was like a point there when I was maybe like 15 where most goalies hadn't given enough effort yet to be good, to where if teams were like, oh fuck, that goalie can do the splits, he actually takes this seriously, like that was an actual thing people thought. And I always liked getting out there and busting out the flexibility, which now is I'd have to go to the hospital if I tried to do any of that.
Yeah, we would be warming up before a game, and my catcher would if the other team was within earshot or could see, he'd catch and he'd go, God damn. He'd take the glove off, look at his hand, he'd like, look, God. Just making just really playing it up.
Do you think about playing hockey again, Taylor?
Once every 5
Yeah, I
minutes,
think I'm going to be playing this winter in a men's league.
Yeah, I think that too. I wonder if it's true.
There we go.
Like in my case, I don't know. I'm not throwing stones at you. I was just thinking about this morning. Like I should get out there. Maybe if I join 2 leagues, that's a couple workouts a week.
The thing about it for me is like, I know that just like any other time I've gone back and played hockey, I'll get out there and all my goalie stuff, and just be thinking the whole time like, man, I really wish I could like be a forward right now and like try my hand at scoring and like playing out. But I also know that I would be a burden to everybody else there if I did decide to play forward, because I'd have to wear my goalie skates because I'm much better at skating in those. So I'd have those big plastic
That's
clown
ridiculous.
skates.
I was
would
going to
look
say you
ridiculous.
should play out, right? Just play out. If that's the position you'd like to give it, go play out. And then you said you're going to wear those clown shoes. And I'm like, no, you can't. No.
I couldn't do that. Like, I'd have to wear regular player skates, which would make me so much slower. Because I could outskate people there in my goalie skates. I'm almost positive. But I would look like such a fucking goober. And it would make me so exhausted to do it. Because you can get going on player skates pretty good. Because it's like, it's rounded on the edges of the blade. So it's meant to go foop, foop, like you're running, like back.
It's meant so you
goalie
can turn.
skates are long and flat. Yes, it's meant so you can turn.
So are speed skaters. They don't make you faster. They just make you agile.
They make it so that you can very quickly get up and go, like do a little hustle and start running on your blades.
Mm-hmm.
With goalie skates, you have to push back like this, so you can get going pretty good if you're good at it, but you also are using a huge amount of energy, and it's exhausting. So I don't know. I just know that if I was forward, I would like fuck up every pass, and then just they would take it, and I'd be like, oh well, Jesus, like again. I don't know. I don't want to
skate well enough backwards in your goalie skates to play defense.
I could skate. Like that is one I can guarantee I can skate better backwards in goalie skates than any of those people on player skates, unless they're actual hockey players. You can get going quick in goalie skates if you know how, because you don't.
If we're playing, who are we going to play against if not hockey players? I mean, we're on a hockey rink, right, with skates and sticks. Like, you're going to have a hard time finding some people who don't know what they're doing, right?
Not really. I mean, because most of them never played competitively. Mm-hmm. Most of them like played house league, or if they did play, the highest they got up was like a AA team or something.
I saw a couple of hockey videos the other day that I liked. One of them was that guy dressing up as a bum and playing with the beer leaguers, and then like turning it on mid game and just making fools of them all. Just playing keep away with the puck, putting it through their. No, I know exactly the one you're talking about though. The guy played left-handed off the start and looked shitty, and then he switched to right-handed. And
he played for Colorado, right? The one I'm talking about. Was it Peters?
His name's I'll find it in just a moment.
You talking about Forsberg?
I might be talking
from
about
like
Forsberg.
A long time ago. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, well, he's older now, but they brought him out, and they recognized him a little bit, even though he wasn't. He was pretty dressed up.
Oh, you know how they do alumni games every year in the NHL with all the old players? It's almost like the Blues are trolling other teams because their goalie this year in the alumni game is Martin Brodeur, who played, I think 11 games with the Blues.
Really?
And the other 1,500 games of his career with the New Jersey Devils. And he finished his career with the Blues, so he's going to play for our alumni team. And then Wayne Gretzky is on our alumni team because he played for the Blues for like 30 games or something in 1996.
I didn't even know either of those players ever played for you guys.
Yeah, and that's why it's funny because they're not known as Blues players at all.
With the Blues,
but they just were like, "Oh, we need a goalie," and Brodeur retired like last year. We should just lock this up, just win. Still knows how to play, I'm sure, unless he got real fat. But I don't know. I thought that was funny.
It's Pavel Barber, I think. Was the hockey player name? That's the YouTube channel for sure. Is Pavel Barber?
He's like a stick handling coach. He's not an actual NHL player. No.
He's a lot better than those beer leaguers, though.
Who's the guy in Florida? Pavel. Am I mixing up?
Kovalchuk?
But yeah, I think I am going to do beer or not. Yeah, some kind of beer league this year, even if I am playing goalie, because I don't know. It's just it's a fun environment. I like playing. I like the environment in a hockey locker room. It's like more cut loose and fun and fuck it and very enjoyable place.
One of my my favorite old, like, it wasn't a very regular bit that you did back on O&A, but I think I've only done it once or twice here, totally ripping you off and joking around, is when neither Opie nor Jim watched Seinfeld, and you would tell stories of a Seinfeld episode, and you would get through like scenes and then they tell me I can't deliver to the street across from me. Why would they tell you that? Didn't you tell them I'm just right there? And like Jimmy's like sincere Jimmy, all worried about it.
Jimmy's like, what do you mean they wouldn't deliver? I'm like, I was on the wrong side of the street. The street was the border, and they wouldn't come up. Like, all that shit. I loved doing it because I've been just the hugest Seinfeld fan. So I know every little nuance to the stories. And to tell the story like it's really happened to you isn't that hard to do if you're a fan. The hardest part of it was watching Travis in the booth, because Travis is another just insane Seinfeld fan who knew exactly what I was doing, and he couldn't look at me. Like, if I made eye contact with him, I'd start laughing. But to see Jimmy so sincerely getting annoyed by what had happened to me was just insanely funny.
He would be like, fucking assholes. Who's going to keep a business alive with that kind of customer service? People these days. And you're like, I know, right?
Yeah, and then I would leave it, and then they'd be like, wait, that was a Seinfeld story, wasn't it? Like an hour later.
Oh, that was great.
We should try to do that to Woody later. Try thinking of a good one.
Oh, well, Anthony would be the one to do it.
He doesn't. He doesn't watch the Seinfeld.
Well, he doesn't remember the details. Like he may have like skimmed it, like he multitasks. But whereas I've watched every episode like 8 or 9 times. Like I watched it when as a kid. Like I fucking live and breathe that show. We were joking about Mr. Marbles earlier. Like every time we hear like a noise in the house, like Mr. Marbles,
Mr. Marbles.
Yeah. That show just never gets old. I probably rewatch that entire series at least once a year.
Yeah.
And It's Always Sunny has become for me like the new Seinfeld, just a dirtier one. You know, that would have been an okay show, but DeVito in there makes it spectacular.
Yesterday was the 20th anniversary of the final episode of Seinfeld. 20
doesn't seem like it. I watched that.
The final episode.
I'm only 32, but I remember watching that shit. Like it was a big deal. We were all like, yeah, it's the last one.
Isn't that crazy? You were 12 years old when the freaking show
started,
the last show.
My parents let me watch anything. I can remember like in the 5th grade, I watched X-Files growing up a lot. And I remember going into my 5th grade classroom and like I sat next to the teacher and I was like, did you see that episode last night? And it was the Peacock episode called Home, where there's this band of incestuous freaks who are like fucking their mother and like trying to produce offspring.
Oh, that was fucked up, right? They're in that like cabin, and they were all deformed and shit.
Yeah, the mother had no legs from a car accident.
Yeah.
So she was on like a creeper that you get on to go under a car, and
sick episode.
They'd wheel her out from under the bed, and they'd take turns each fucking her and trying to create a new baby. And then like the episode begins with her like giving birth, and they're like cutting the umbilical cord with rusty scissors, and then like the baby dies. So they like. It doesn't die, actually. It's so malformed that they're just like, and they just bury it alive in the baseball field out back. I'm what, 10 years old in class, like, did you see that shit last night, Miss Harrison? She's like, yeah, that was awful.
There was some twisted episodes of X-Files, but that one, I think, is the weirdest, like, sickest, because of that incestuous angle they took with it.
It was the only one rated TVMA, mature, and they only aired it twice that I can remember. They aired it twice, but to this day, like that's the one that I show people, like if they've never seen the X-Files before.
Right, yeah.
Let's watch this one because they've got like this Andy Griffith angle at the beginning where like there's the sheriff is this like kindly black guy who I think maybe is named Andy, and like you think that he's gonna make it, right? Until these 3 dudes show up at his house one night with baseball bats and beat him to death in cold blood. And you're like, oh, well, at least his wife hid under the bed sufficiently well. And then they drag her ass out and beat her to death with the bats as well. So it's a rough episode.
To the X-Files. I've never really watched the X-Files. I thought it was a show about like looking for goblins or something.
Mostly.
I mean,
yeah, there was that storyline, that continuing storyline, and then the separate stories that kind of interwove through the Mulder's sister and the UFO thing and all that stuff.
But huge government conspiracy where like the Shadow organization has made a backhanded deal with the aliens to like so that some of them survive and they become like the slaves to the alien race, and there's a virus, and that's the overarching storyline. Right. But there's Monster of the Week shit that
there were like standalone episodes that you could just watch as kind of a weird thriller.
Yeah, very good show. I
liked it.
Yeah. I always want to fuck Gillian Anderson so bad.
That's every so often there is a Hollywood celebrity that is obviously hot, but I don't get why she got singled out as super hot. Right? She's just regular hot to me. Scarlett Johansson, I think.
Scarlett Johansson is.
Yeah.
Are you going to say that she's just kind of regular hot?
regular Hollywood hot, right? I don't see why she's not as hot, or why she's hotter
strongly
than
disagree.
like all the other chicks on the
I
X-Files.
must also
Yeah.
strongly disagree.
This happens to me all the time, right? Like
Even like most girls, when they get that pixie haircut that only other women tell them looks good, so they look better in comparison. So that when they're out to brunch, they're the one getting stares. Like she even looks great with that.
Like if you're, I would love to hear Seinfeld talk on that, like honestly, because I know what he'd say. He'd be like, the DVD was about to come out.
Yeah.
The DVDs were about to come out.
Hey man, what's the matter with you? Bring the N-bomb when I got the whole DVD coming out.
Oh man, that does suck for him. I didn't realize it was right when the DVDs were coming
Yeah.
out. He made
Just,
a
and
boatload more.
just disappeared from the face of the earth after that. Michael Richards, you are a person no more.
Poor Michael Richards.
Or
I
Michael Richards.
Oh, he's sitting on so much Seinfeld money.
you hope so, right? Like I know he.
Oh, I know so.
That only gets you so far. You go around with money. Hey, how you doing, home? You want to hang out? No.
I know Jason Alexander must be doing well because like every time I see him, he's fucking playing poker, right? Like he's playing some $10,000 like entry poker game or something like that, doing some sort of celebrity event or something like that. Like he's just having fun.
Yeah, he's one of those celebrities that love poker. I mean, that would be great if he blows every bit of his Seinfeld money playing poker.
Yeah, Ray Romano too, and the guy that played Romano's brother back on that fucking sick Everybody Loves Raymond.
That guy with like the oddly like
Deep voice.
Brad Garrett.
voice.
Brad Garrett, yeah. Brad Garrett's got a hot, I don't know if he's married now, but he had a super hot girlfriend. I saw them do an interview before. It was like, wow, Jesus, that's that Everybody Loves Raymond money.
He's got a comedy club at the MGM in Vegas that does really well. So.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen him on billboards out there. Yeah.
Yeah, Brad Garrett's comedy club. A lot of guys that play it. Yeah, he's doing fine. A lot of those guys doing just fine. That's syndication money.
That would be the best way to be famous, is just be a guy who does a really well-known show like Seinfeld. Your legacy will just be that show.
That's it.
Everybody loves it, you know, and then you just fade away.
Right.
And you're just that guy with money who has to occasionally do like, George is getting upset, like for people in public and that kind of shit. Like,
And
other than
everyone that
you're
sees you loves you like they do the character. So
exactly.
you're
Yeah,
just
unless you're
like
Michael Richards
your
and you
goal.
can't, you know, keep your racism behind closed doors, you know, and just be the most lovable character on the show. Like, do you know how bad you have to fuck up to
make
not be
Kramer
loved as Kramer anymore? Like,
to overshadow how loved Kramer was, you really have to fuck up.
that's
That character would come into the
major
room and
league
the
fun.
studio audience would just, whoa, yeah,
Yeah.
Kramer's
Yeah.
here, fuck yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy that came in a room and the place would go crazy. Like when the Fonz walked in. You know, he was that guy. And now he's like, oh, yeah, no, Michael Richards. You really got to fuck up.
Did you see him talk with Seinfeld about it and how he had like regrets about on the show how he was too high strung and focused too much?
How
No?
Seinfeld was or Richards?
Really?
Richards was, yeah. Apparently, his process involved a lot of like kind of a short fuse. Took it super seriously. Studied, knew all his lines. Didn't have a high tolerance for other people laughing or breaking character.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because there were a lot of... Some of the outtakes to Seinfeld are just as funny as the show. It's hilarious to watch what they were laughing at. And he would get pissed off and be like, come on, everyone.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Shakespeare? Shut the fuck up.
So Seinfeld had a different take. He's like, you know what? That's just your process. You did a great job, and that's the way that you got that product out. So he's like, don't second guess how you did it. You did great.
Oh,
But
was that in Comedians in Cars Drinking Coffee?
It might be that.
He was in one of those,
Yeah. And I just thought it was really cool to hear. It's not who I would have guessed Kramer was.
Yeah, Comedians in Cars yelling N-bombs.
Yeah.
That was that episode.
Yeah, they should be comedians in cars drinking bourbon. We'll see how well that goes after. That'd be a much more entertaining show. I want to see some collisions and some N-bombs. That's what I want to see out of you, Michael Richards. I want you to fucking lose it again.
I mean,
I want
nobody's
Black
Actually,
Cop
I would
to
love
pull you
that.
over.
That would be pretty
nobody's
great.
heard of him
Yeah.
since that outburst, have they?
Dude,
Like,
he should do like book a gig way in advance, do a whole tour of how he's going to get up there and redeem himself and shit, and then go in there and the first thing he does is just start yelling N-bombs again.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, would that be awesome?
I feel like
got
he's
fuck you
done
money.
his time now, right? Hasn't he served his penance? Aren't people over his frustration?
How long has it been?
OJ
Because
did.
Mel Gibson got 10 years, right, of blacklisting
Mm-hmm.
from the cabal. We know who I'm talking about, right? Those people.
Yeah.
They kept
Those
those
Yes.
people. They control it all.
The Southerners.
Finance,
2006.
entertainment.
12 years ago was when Michael Richards did that.
Time's up. Ready to
Time's
go.
up.
Yeah,
Time's
hit the
up.
club.
Mel's making
Fine.
movies. Mel's making movies again.
But to be
Right?
fair, the Mel Gibson tapes are independently hilarious. So you can go back and listen to those and laugh. And every man in America, when he's like, "You were supposed to blow me before the jacuzzi," like every guy's like, "Oh, there's nothing as frustrating as a blowjob promised, gone undone," and like so you get it. But like Richards, it was
Like-
just uncomfortable. Like it wasn't. He wasn't making jokes. It wasn't funny. It's like a less good TGI Friday.
I don't
agree.
like Ruby Tuesdays. I find most of their food to be like greasy based. You know,
I find it all to be frozen dinners that they're heating up, just like most restaurants of that class, but they have a nice salad bar.
okay.
Yeah, I put Ruby Tuesday like, I don't know, above fast food, but definitely below TGI Fridays, which I legitimately think TGI Fridays has some of their food's really good. Their burgers are really good. I've never had their
Five
ribs.
Guys.
They look pretty good.
If I'm in that category that's above fast food but below like an Outback Steakhouse or a Red Lobster, then I'm gonna go to Five Guys because it's gonna be really good fast food. Because to me that's better than like sit down at a restaurant and pretend like it's good food, but it's really microwave dinners like it's Applebee's or something.
You mentioning Red Lobster, another perfect example of a place I will no longer patronize because it was years ago the last time I went to Red Lobster, and their cheddar biscuits are fantastic. That's the redeeming quality there. They're good.
You can buy the mix.
I order, we've had the mix before, and
I've got it upstairs.
Home. But that's so funny. We both have those. But that's redeemable. That's good. That's the whole reason to go there. Red Lobster, the last time I went, I must have been still in high school. I ordered crab legs, snow crab legs, because that's what I order every time I go to a seafood place that has it, because it's my fucking favorite. And usually when you get a good snow crab, like, about the size of the leg, when you break it, there's maybe a little space on either side where the meat is, and it doesn't quite fill it up all the way, that whole cavity, maybe.
Yeah.
But you get most of it. Like, when you pull it out, it's near the size of where you pulled it from. I swear to fucking God, there was a cheap chef in the back room at this Red Lobster taking a syringe, like, putting it into the crab and like pulling the meat out so we could like redistribute it into other crabs to save money, because I've never opened so many perfect like cracks, perfect clean cracks, only to like look in both sides and be like, well, I guess someone beat me to it. Jesus. Like, and then crack another one open. Fucking nothing. Like the little paltry dry scraps. Like, you need your crab to be moist, not dry. It was the saddest crab I've ever eaten. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So Red Robin's great. Red Lobster would take my top spot of a restaurant I will no longer go to because their crab
Red
is
Lobster.
pathetic.
Red Lobster has booze, which is nice sometimes. They have those biscuits, which are really good, and they have the Admiral's Feast. Now, you order the Admiral's Feast when you just don't give a fuck anymore, okay? You want a lot of fried food. As a matter of fact, you want all the fried food that Red Lobster has. You want them to bring it to bear immediately. It comes in a platter. This plate is this fucking big. It's twice as big as my head. All right, it's huge, and it's oval, and it's hot, and it's full of every sort of like sea creature that the captain who's running this Red Lobster can lay his hands on. There's shrimp and little clams and oysters and all kinds of fried stuff in there. That's what I get. It's an enormous amount of food. There's like 4 different kinds of fish and shrimp, and it's
all
good stuff.
fried though. So
Yeah.
like there's like a loaf of bread worth of carbs on that seafood platter because it's just covered in fried, and
And then I eat the bread.
then you have the bread. The crab at Joe's Crab Shack is definitely an echelon above Red Lobster, but like an echelon below like a real like, Tony's seafood place or something like that. But I have serious reservations about going to Joe's Crab Shack because you never know when they're going to start singing. you never know. They could start singing at any time, and that makes me profoundly, I can't even articulate it, the extent to which like my stomach hurts and my chest gets tight anytime at a restaurant people start to break into song, because I know I look at their face
happy
and I
birthday,
know,
happy day.
What?
I
Really?
look at their face and like they don't want to be singing this. They're looking at me saying this guy doesn't want me singing at him as he's trying to eat. I hate it. And they have to sing about how happy they fucking are to be at Joe's when really it's like, you see my drink's empty. Can you fucking fill it up in the chorus? Maybe when that guy in the back takes a break from beating those drums, like those bell drums from Jamaica or whatever the hell those are, those metal ones. Like, oh man, I hate when people sing
And this
at restaurants.
makes your stomach tighten up and your chest.
It makes me so uncomfortable to see large groups of people forced into a singing, basically competition to so the manager can be like, all right, so if Mr. Corporate walks in right now, he'll see it's 3:37 and we're in the middle of song, like everything's hunky dory. I hate that.
Nothing makes
This
me
has
that
made me
uncomfortable.
hungry. I'm going to eat somewhere really nice this week now. I think I need to go back to Morton's or something. I'm so hungry for something good now.
I'd be annoyed.
I told my friend, or I told the mariachi band at Casa Bonita. It's a real restaurant in Colorado. I went to
Cliff divers.
The cliff dive, very underwhelming cliff. So I told one of my friends who gets even more humiliated by that stuff than I do. He had got up to go to the bathroom, and I went and talked to the mariachi band and was like, hey, it's this guy's birthday. Do you guys do any kind of thing? And he's like, yeah, well, we come over there, and then we're going to sing to him, and we put this big sombrero on his head so that everybody knows that you're singing at that guy. And I swear to God, my buddy, Tim, when he got back, it was almost like the slow motion before an action scene in a movie where he could see like the
doves are flying. The doves, like Michael Bay doves, are like flying slowly.
There's a big lens flare, and you could see the mariachi band slowly walking, getting louder and louder as they approached. And he knew, because I must have given it away, that they were walking over with their big sombrero to put it on his head, and then just be like, oh, no, don't everybody look at this kid. And he got up and just ran, just kind of got up and he jogged away, and he would not come back and sit down at this restaurant. Keep in mind, we were on a church bus trip, so it wasn't like we had fucking forever to eat, but he would not come back and sit down until he saw the mariachi band venture away to some poor unsuspecting victim on the other side of the restaurant.
Disperse.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I like doing that to people, telling them it's their birthday, but honestly, I like it when people do it to me, because you get a free piece of cake usually, or some free ice cream or something. I'm like, yeah, I'll suffer this minor humiliation if I get a free piece of cake.
I don't like it, so it doesn't work for me, really.
Yeah, I'll absolutely do that.